Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have another budget store find. This time it's the board game Gloomhaven, and let me tell you, this box weighs a ton, and there's so much stuff in this box that this unboxing is going to take a little while. So get some snacks, get your drink, sit down, relax, enjoy yourself, and let's work our way through this. Again, this was another budget store find that I got, which is 100% complete. I picked it up for $75 and 50% off. And this game is created by Isaac Childress. So let's turn this around. Welcome to Gloomhaven. Being a mercenary on the edge of civilization is anything but easy. For those stupid or brave enough to leave the relative safety of Gloomhaven's walls, adventure, wealth, and fame await in wild and shadowy forests, snowy mountain caves, and long-forgotten crypts. Just don't expect anyone to pay for your services up front, because no one expects you to come back alive. So I'm going to bring this down just a little bit, because again, it's a very, very heavy box. So right down there it says, Gloomhaven is a cooperative game of tactical combat in a unique, evolving fantasy world. Each player will assume the role of a hardened mercenary with their own personal motives. Together, players will fight through a campaign of scenarios that reacts and changes based on the player's actions, creating a unique game slate full of discovered treasure, retired adventurers, and permanent choices. Each scenario offers players deep tactical decisions, where ability cards have multiple uses, and using the right ability at the right time can mean the difference between success and failure. Gloomhaven offers streamlined tactical combat without dice against fully automated enemies, each with their own unique behavior patterns. In this box, players will find a fully realized fantasy campaign experience of unparalleled scope and depth. For more information and for a video overview of how to play the game, go to www.gaming-rules.com. All right, so let's, now again, just listen to this thing. That is a lot of stuff. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have inside the box. Again, this is a crazily heavy box filled with so much stuff. So I'm going to pull this to the side. As you can tell, look at the depth of that box. It's just incredibly heavy. 100% heavy. All right. So let's pull this to the side here as best we can. First thing we're going to start off with, I'm going to shift this down just a little bit so we can concentrate more on what we're looking at. So here we go. We got the Gloomhaven rulebook, and it's a pretty thick rulebook. So let's go through this. So right off the bat, it gives you what your components are in the game. Then you have a large table of contents. And then, of course, it tells you about the play overview. The play area includes different things. It includes all the stuff that's listed here. You have a standard attack modifier deck. You also have your characters with your character mats. And then it gives you a breakdown of what those mats look like, and of course how to use them. Then you have character ability cards. An ability card includes all the stuff that's listed here, and that's how they look. Then rolling on, it tells you what item cards are. You have items that could be used for your head, the body, the legs, one hand, two hands, or a small item. And of course breaks down how the cards are read. Then of course you have monster statistic cards and the stats that are for the villains that you will be fighting with. Then you also here have monster ability cards, battle goal cards, attack modifier cards. So in this game you have a tremendous amount of cards. Scenario setups, you have a scenario page, and they give you a little background fluff about that stuff. Then we have overlay tiles. The different types of tiles we have. We have doors, corridors, traps, hazardous terrain, difficult terrain, obstacles, ranged attack. Then you have the level of difficulty: easy, normal, hard, and blow your mind, very hard. Again, you have scenario levels 0 through 7. Then, of course, you have game variant, open information, and solo play. So this is a game that can be played with a group of people or it can be played solo. Then gives you a round overview. So you got card selection, determining initiative, character monster turns, then you clean up. And then you have your card section. It gives you examples of what that's all about. Gives you an example of what it means to determine initiative. Then we talk about your character turn. What are some of the things you can do? Revealing rooms. You can attack, range attacks, melee attacks, line of sight. You have attackers modifier. You have to see the attackers attack modifiers, attack modifier cards, and the defenders' defensive bonuses that they have. You're talking about advantages and disadvantages that your character and the monster may have. Area of effect, depending on the weapon, depending on the spell, depending on all that type of stuff. Then rolling on, we have attack effects. You have push X, pull X, pierce X, and add target. Conditions, we have poison, wound, immobilize, disarm, stun, muddle, curse, invisible, strengthen, bless. Moving on, we talk about all kinds of different cards. Again, the different icons. You have fire, ice, air, earth, light, and dark. And they're all the 6 elements. Then we have active bonuses, round bonuses, what shields are. Then we have heal, retaliate, summoning, recovering and refreshing, loot, end of turn looting, gaining experience for your characters. Character damage, suffer the damage and move to his or her hit point total on the tracking wheel down the appropriate number and choose 1 card to lose. Exhaustion, items. Then of course we get to the monster turn, the order of action, the monster's focus. We talk about monster movement, move to X, maximum effect, single target melee, multi-target attacking. Then with monster interaction with traps and hazardous terrain, and gives you all examples throughout the book. Monster attacks, other monster abilities, healing, summoning. We have ambiguity, bosses. And then of course at the end of the round gives you information there as well. You've got a round tracker to check to see how much time you have to finish off a scenario. Then success or failure of the scenario. Players succeed, complete the scenario, and move on. Then we have special scenario rules. You have spawning, locked doors, pressure plates, destroying obstacles, objective and scenario aid tokens, name monsters, and you have equations. Then you have the campaign overview. You can do it either in casual mode or campaign mode or solo mode, depending on which way you want to play the game. Then we, of course, have the campaign board, lots of stickers that you could put on that tell you when you have, where the location is, and of course, what you have completed in the game as of from the first game going forward. And what the board includes as well, we have a sheet for your party, so you can write up your character's name, their location, the notes, the achievements, their shop price modifiers, what their rep is also. So you'll also have another character sheet right there. It explains that as well. So it tells you, it says Ignat Brute, name, level, experience points, notes, gold notes, items that you have secured. Then you have your perks. You have remove 2, replace 1 with 1, add 2, add 1, add 3, add 2, add 1, add 1, add 1. For pierce, stun, disarm, muddle, you have push. You have different cards that you can get for that. Add 1 target, and this tells you so your changes that your character is going to have, and then for various notes about things that you've accomplished during your missions. You can write on the front, and I believe the back of that is blank as well. Then you have personal quest cards. Personal quest card includes different things: random item design cards, random side scenario cards, city and road event cards, and of course it has event cards have decision points. Either you're going to do it or you're not, and if you do it, this is what you have to accomplish and what you receive upon accomplishing those goals you have for yourself. It gives you examples of what that card looks like. Then you have sealed boxes and envelopes, town records, achievements, global achievements, party achievements, playing a campaign, traveling, and road events. You have some campaigns like Black Barrow, C10, completing road events. Then you have visiting Gloomhaven, creating new characters, completing city events, buying and selling different items while you're in Gloomhaven to improve your characters' fighting abilities and their defense abilities. then of course you're going to level up experience. So level 1, you have no experience in 45, 95, 150, 210, 275, 345, 420, and you could bottom up at level 9 appears. Then you have additional perks: building a hand of cards, scenario scaling, donating to the sanctuary, enhancing ability cards, and then just more charts that you need to know. And when playing the game, you have base enchantment cost, base other effects cost, and level of ability cards. Moving on, then we have announcing retirement, Gloomhaven prosperity, scenario completions, going on to new locations. All of this is explained to you in this core rulebook. Game variant, permanent death, game variant, random dungeon deck. Room cards include, monster cards include, and of course the credits of all the good people who brought you this game. And on the back, of course, you have a helpful hint guide, which tells you what the general icons are, scenario levels, element icons, conditions and effects, equipment slots, enhancing, monster key, and of course, the whole different kinds of cards that are available to you. So again, you have basically 51 pages of rules and then a cheat sheet on the back of that Gloomhaven book. So that is your core rulebook. We're going to put that to the side for a minute and we're going to move on. We also have our scenario book. So again, Gloomhaven, again, the information is all on the page for everything that you're going to need to do to accomplish for your scenarios. And there are a ton of scenarios in this book. So if we take a look at this real quick, all of them are kind of set up the same way. It's got your scenario number. It's got the title of it. It's going to tell you the requirements, the goal, introduction, conclusion, new location that you're going to go to, party achievement. It's going to tell you how to lay out the maps, who the villains are going to be, and who the monsters are that you're going to fight. And then tells you right down here, gives you a code as to which ones you're going to be first meeting up with. Okay? And it's going to also tell you which map tiles you're going to need as well. So again, all the scenarios are pretty much set up the exact same way. So we have the Black Barrow, we have the Barrow Lair, we have Enoch's Encampment, we have the Crypt of the Damned, we have Ruinous Crypt, Decaying Crypt, Vibrant Grotto, you have Gloomhaven Warehouse, the Diamond Mine, you have Plane of Elemental Power, Gloomhaven Square, you have Gloomhaven Square B, so it was Gloomhaven Square A, and now B. You have Temple of the Seer, Frozen Hollow, Shrine of Strength, Mountain Pass, Lost Island, Abandoned Sewers, Forgotten Crypt. You've got Necromancer's Sanctum. You have Infernal Throne, Temple of the Elements, the Deep Ruins, Echo Chamber, the Icy Rag Ascent. You have Ancient Cistern, Ruinous Rift. You have Outer Ritual Chamber, Sanctuary of Gloom. You have Shrine of the Depths. You have Derepit Wood. You have Savas Armory, Scorched Summit, Gloomhaven Battlements A. You have the Doom Trench. You have Slave Pens, Ancient Defense Network, Time-Worn Tomb, Realm of the Voice, Drake Nest, Tribal Assault, Rebel Swamp, Nightmare Peak, Lair the Unseeing Eye, Shadow Wield, Rebel Stand, Ghost Fortress, which is number 50, The Void, Noxious Cellar, Crypt Basement, Palace of Ice, Foggy Thicket, Bandit's Wood, Investigation, Bloody Shark, Forgotten Grove, Alchemy Lab, Fading Lighthouse, Pit of Souls, the Magma Pit. You have Underwater Lagoon, Sulphur Mine, Clockwork Cove, Arcane Library, Toxic Moor, Well of the Unfortunate, Chained Isle, which is number 70, Windswept Highlands, Oozing Grove, Rockslide Ridge, Merchant Ship, Overgrown Graveyard, The Howler Hive, Sacrifice Pit, Lost Temple, Virgil Keep, Temple of the Eclipse, Burning Mountain, Shadows Within, Crystalline Cave, Sun Temple, Harried Village, Corrupted Cove, Plane of Water, Syndicate Hideout, Demonic Rift, Wild Melee, Back Alley Brawl, Sunken Vessel, Vermilion Nest, and Payment Due. Again, all of them set up the same way. The introduction, the special rules, how you set up your boards, and the characters or the monsters that you will be fighting throughout everything. It also tells you requirements and your goal. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 118 pages, a total of 94 scenarios. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We got some more here. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We got some more here. Hold on. Got 95. Payment is due. Oh, then we have the treasure index. Sorry about that. It kind of keeps track of all that stuff for you. And again, that goes all the way through here. And that concludes everything. So I was correct. There's a total of 95. So it's 118 pages, 95 pages of scenarios. Then you go on. You can track which type of gold and treasure that you've come along in throughout your adventure. So you can check that off here as well. And then you have your back cover. So that, again, everything with this is large, and that's a heavy book of scenarios. Again, I think that's, of all the unboxings I've done, I think that's the most, by far the most scenarios given in any one game. So that's your core rule book, and of course that's your scenario book, which both ultimately weigh a ton. Now we're also going to put down here, we have our game board, which is pretty, not overly large, but it's pretty good. And again, you have stickers, which I'm going to show you right here. You got a sticker sheet. So you're going to pull off these stickers, and when you find a placement on the board, you put the sticker on the board. We'll come back to the stickers in a little bit, but I just want to show you the board first off. So if you look up here real quick, you have the Copperneck Mountains, you have the Dagger Forest, you have the Still River, Stone Road. You have an overview of what Gloomhaven looks like and all the different locales within Gloomhaven. Again, you have the Still River, you have the Corpse Wood, you have Gloomhaven itself, which is located down here. So this is a large map. Up here is a large map of the smaller map down here. You have Merchant's Bay, you have the Capital, which is to the left. You have the East Road, Serpent's Kiss River. You have Merchant's Bay, you have the Lingerling Swamp, you got Watcher Mountains, and then you have the Misty Sea. And down here, track is a tracker for your prosperity. So again, as I was saying, and on here also, you can't see probably the way you are because it is a little small, but I'll bring it up to you. You see that there are little numbers throughout here. So my assumption would be, as you're going through this game, all these, so example, number 95 is right there. So the final fight will be of all your scenarios will be right there. Again, as you're being successful and going through each part of this campaign, which I think is going to take a tremendous amount of time, again, it's linked by stickers. So you get a total of 95 stickers that you could place all over the map as you accomplish each one of these goals. So that's very cool that they have something like that. So again, you've got you have your game board, your again, these just peeled off and you find number 1 and blammo, you put that on there, which is very cool. These are your location stickers, sheet 1 and sheet 2. So we're going to put that over to the side over here. Again, we have our Gloomhaven rulebook, which is going to go up top there. And we also have our scenario book. And this board is used to track your global achievements. Now, we also have some more stickers. See what these say. This says water breathing, annihilation of the order, different rankings. Then we've got power enchantment. We got the rift neutralized, the edge of darkness, end of invasion. You've got end of corruption, end of gloom. You've got ancient technology, city rule demonic, artifact recovered, artifact lost, cleansed. You have the merchant flees, the dread invade. You've got the drakes slain, drakes aided. It says the voice silenced, the voiced freed, city rule militaristic, and city rule economic. And then you have global achievement stickers that you get as well. So you get a whole bunch of stickers right off the bat. Those are your stickers. Then, of course, you get game tiles as well. And these are, you get a huge amount of punch-out boards. Again, so here are some of the things that you find on those punch boards. Let's see. Yes, they're on front and back. So let's take a look at these up close. I'm going to have to give me 1 second here. I have to make some adjustments because there is just so much stuff in this game. I have to move around just a little bit because I'm running out of space here. Again, I don't have one of those large game tables, so I have to make do with what I have. So again, we're going to take a look at this again, move around here a little bit. So again, other part of it, more cool punch outs, which is really cool. Again, a bunch of numbers. So if we flip that over, you see the backs of those. See that that's a little different. So again, these pop out. Now these are nice punch outs. They are nice thick cardboard, not overly thick, nothing like you know, it's a nice quality, and it goes right back in. They're a little thinner than, I would say, a little thinner than a Pazio Pawn, which I've done a lot of unboxings for, but they are still, the artwork on them is second to none. You know, nice quality, very nice quality. And again, the great thing about them, they're a little, like the artwork on it's a little smaller than the Pazio ones, but again, I like this because, in fact, again, nothing gets cut off on the image itself, so that's really cool as well. So again, they are a little smaller, but again, at the same time, you do get a lot of detail on everything, so that's really cool. So that's your first sheet. We have a second sheet. Which looks similar to the first sheet. Okay, we got letters and numbers at the bottom. Again, all the icons that you see on everything here, that is explained, everything is explained to you in the rule book. And again, there's plenty of playthrough videos that you can watch that can really help you to learn how to play this game. One of the reasons I picked up, first off, it was a complete box, and it was for a fraction of the cost that you would get this if it was brand new. And I've heard so many good things about this game in general. I had to pick it up as soon as I saw it. And at that price, I was like, there's no way I'm going to turn it down. You get so much material in here. Again, this is something that's going to take a long time, which I'm glad, because when I'm off in the summertime, because I am a teacher, it gives me the chance to work on some of these campaigns. So again, this is one that you mean, my concern is when you lay it out, how much time is it going to take to put it together? And once you lay it out, do you want to keep it laid out so you can keep going back to it? Or is it something you're going to break down, reopen again, and set your stuff up? So that's the only question I have, is that, you know, breakdown, setup, and also how much stuff you need to have on the table. But again, when I was looking through the scenario book just with you guys right now, I noticed also that it's, again, the artwork is very stunning on all these pieces here, as you see them right across there. Very, 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 very cool stuff. Again, that's my whole thing, is that when you take it apart, you know, again, when I was looking through snare books, it didn't look like anything had that much stuff taken out. So it may be cool to go, all right, you know, put a bookmark in where you leave off and go back. But I want to make sure that you're, you know, that you're able to keep track of all this. And this to me also has a, just by reading through the rules to some degree, it also has an RPG feel to it as well, which, as you guys know, I have done a lot of unboxing for a lot of RPGs, so I'm very familiar with how to play those as well. So the reality is that, again, the reality is beautiful artwork, but the reality is that a game of this magnitude takes a lot of time. So, you know, I'm concerned about making sure that once you start working on the campaign, you are able to track everything easily and not kind of, you know, forget where you left off. And, you know, so I'm looking at it as something that you're going to have to take notes with, just like you would in a regular, when you're doing a role-playing game. You have to kind of keep a notebook on the side to say, hey, this is what happened during this time of the adventure, and just keep some track of notes to let you know how your characters are doing and that kind of stuff. So again, rolling on to another sheet we have here. Again, some more hallways, and then some more characters and creatures, which is really cool. There are a plethora of different monsters you're going to be taking on, so it appears to me. So what's that say? That says inert, waning, and strong. So that's some sort of, and then you got some rounds there. So okay, so you're doing rounds. Okay, so it's some kind of round tracker policy. Yep. So again, that thing there, as you can tell, it says right there, it's a part of the round tracker right there. All right, very cool. And then we're going to flip this over again, see the other side of some of our pawns. Again, very, very cool. Again, high quality across the board. No complaints here. I did another unboxing a while back for Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. I did complete that, and it was an enjoyable game. That was another reason why I picked this up, because I did enjoy that. That was my first experience with Gloomhaven. Jaws of the Lion, I think it's called. And then, again, one of the reasons why I picked this game up, first off, was the rock bottom price of it, which is something, you know, I jumped on it as soon as I saw it. But more importantly, also, I did enjoy playing that game, so I'm hoping that this will be as enjoyable as that one. And I don't see why it wouldn't, because, again, the concept of that game is very obviously similar to this one here. And it keeps going, guys. For those who haven't seen the inside of a Gloomhaven box before, it's just like an endless amount of stuff that's inside this box, which explains to you why it's as heavy as it is as well. Going down here, and so many cool different kinds of creatures that you're going to face in the dungeon, which is really, really cool. Now, again, you guys know, and I love pawns, so the reality is, if this game would have come with all of these as miniatures, this game would cost you easily $400 or $500 for an introduction game. So the reality is, using the pawns makes it more cost effective for everybody across the board, and that's something I gotta give them credit for, because, you know, a lot of companies, they kickstart something, and then all of a sudden, what happens? You know, you get 1,000 boxes of different miniatures and this, and the other thing, which is cool. There's nothing wrong. But again, when I deal and play with like fantasy games and stuff like that, I much prefer using pawns, because there's just so many different types that you're going to run into. It just makes things a little bit easier. And again, some more of our monsters that you're going to face. And some of this stuff here, which I'm not quite sure what they are. Maybe they're traps, different holes and stuff like that I'm seeing here. before. Some more stuff here. Very, very cool. Again, another game board. And flip it over. Or I should say another game tile. So again, going right down here. Again, that's some of the overlays that they were talking about. Again, there's another tile for you. And the backs of those creatures too. And we keep going. We got another punch out board. And then we got some more of those. We got another one of these. And then going across here. So it appears that we have multiples of the same punch outs as well, which is really cool. You know, I find in Starfinder and Pathfinder, they do that as well. The great people over Pazio, they do the same thing because you never know how many of these villains you're going to take on at one time. So it's good that you get multiples of different creatures. This way you're, you know, it's like kobolds or skeletons. You're constantly running into them, or orcs. You're constantly running into them. You're constantly battling them. And, you know, you don't take on one at a time. They throw 10 at you at a time. So when you have a lot of extra pawns, it just makes it easier. And again, the great thing about pawns is the fact that you don't spend money on paint supplies, time painting them, and of course, more importantly, you don't have cleanup is a lot easier when you have standees versus it being figures themselves. It takes up a lot less space, all that kind of stuff. So even though this box here is ginormous, I'll say that again, the box is ginormous, but there's a T section, and let's flip that over. Again, with the pawns and the terrain done this way, it is a lot easier to store. It is it's set up, take it right out of the box, put it on a table, get rolling. And when you have a lot of miniatures, you want to paint them, you want to do this, you want to do that. It's all about time. And what I've realized as I get older is that obviously time is fleeting, but more importantly that you'd rather sit down and play a game versus having to have so much setup. And then we're going to continue going. Again, when you're talking about 95 scenarios, you need a lot of different stuff. A lot of different terrain pieces you need. A lot of just different stuff because it's not going to be the same thing over and over and over again. So again, this board looks very similar to the one we just looked at. These are some of the overlays that they're talking about that you put on top of the tiles to represent, you know, difficult terrain, unpassable terrain, cover, all those things that it does. But as we're just looking here, look at the amount of sheets of cardboard that we're getting in this box. It's just a tremendous amount. And then we have another one that looks like this, another T that looks like that. Some cool stuff here again, coming across the bottom, looking at this stuff here. Uh-oh, it looks like the police are coming to arrest the creators of Gloomhaven because it's a crime to have all this cardboard in a box at one time. Only kidding. Again, more the merrier. Again, so far I'm loving everything I'm seeing here, and it really captures that vibe of, again, when you're immersing yourself into this world of Gloomhaven. The reality is you need cardboard pieces to set up your terrain and set up everything you need to make you feel like you're actually going on an adventure, which is really, really cool that they're doing this. And then they got desks, and they got closets, and they got staircases, and they got everything else that you would need to really to get you to jump in both feet into this world. And that's really cool. Right now, so far, I'm 1000% pleased. Again, when you watch unboxings or you watch people do playthroughs, you know, you question the sincerity of what they're talking about sometimes because you're not quite sure, because you've never played the game and you're just checking it out. But everybody seems to have really enjoyed Gloomhaven. So again, as soon as I saw this for sale, I was like, let me pick this up, especially at one of my local budget stores. And for the cut rate price I got it for, it's worth taking the gamble, taking the chance on it. Again, more and more punch outs we've got here. It's going to take you 45 hours just to punch out all of this cardboard. But again, the scenario book by itself is kind of crazy as well. Really, really, really interesting. All right. So it looks like to me you're going to have most of your bad guys and or your monsters are going to be on punch outs. This box set does come with figures as well, which we'll get to towards the end. But at the same time, again, more and more tokens we have here. They're so excited. They can't wait to get onto the game board. Again, different things. Again, it's just a tremendous amount of cardboard, all kinds of tokens. Again, all the tokens, all the stuff is explained in the core rulebook. You have to do the core rulebook or go online. Sometimes that simplifies things. Sometimes it makes it more complex. But you know, this is a game. Again, it's going to take a little while to get used to and to get yourself on track to understand how to play the game and everything else like that. So you're making, again, with a game of this size and with all this information that's part of it, just remember you're making an investment into this game. So again, you're going into a new world. It's providing everything that you need to know about the game. And again, the terrain is just, you could think about it, you'd be like, oh my God, this is just overwhelming. Well, it all serves a purpose and you're not going to be using it all on your first adventure. So as you go from adventure to adventure, at least that's what I learned from the last time I played Gloomhaven, is that as you go along, you kind of learn. Their first missions are kind of easier and kind of eases you into the system to understand how to play it. And that's a good way to learn rather than throwing you to the wolves right off the bat, because I think the replayability would kind of disappear. And one of my tiles just happened to fall out. I'm just going to put them back in there real quick. All right, there we go. Put it back in there. That one fell out. We got some of these crystal creatures. That's pretty cool. And got some money there, it looks like. That's very cool as well. And just as I'm going through this with you guys, I'm noticing that some of the monsters I have seen previously, again, when I did that other Gloomhaven game, some of those creatures were in that game as well. So I'm noticing that there are some duplicates again, Jaws of the Lion, I think it was called. Jaws of the Lion, I think that's what it was called. I haven't played it in a while, but it was like a year, 2 years ago I played it. But it was very enjoyable. And but I'm seeing some similarities of monsters that were in that box that are also in this box here. And last but not least, we're finally at the end of our tiles and of our punch-out boards. So let me just get another one. Again, it just popped out a little bit. So I'm just putting them back in so we can see them as solid. They're so excited to be here that they want to get on the table and start playing the game. So there you go again. And they really are, especially these bottom ones, are a little bit more getting ready because of all the weight. Obviously all the weight that's being placed on it from all the other cardboard. There he goes. We got a runner. And so there's that. There's that. We put this down here again. And just going to stick that guy, hopefully put him right back where he belongs, which is right there. If I can Get them in. Yep, goes right back in. All right, so how many sheets of cardboard? Let's see, we got there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 punch out sheets. You wonder where all the weight came from? Right there. So what else do we have? We have these holders, and one for each player. That's what the backs look like. You have some envelopes, which I'm not going to open because they are sealed. This one says, open this envelope when you feel you deserve it. After doing this whole unboxing, I'm probably going to open it up because it's going to be like, oh, finally got through all that, but no. So you got an A, a B, and an X. Okay, so you got those. You have the party sheet. Again, you have the name, the location, the notes, reputation, shop modifiers you have here too. And then of course your achievements. And again, you have room on the back to write all stuff on here too. And they give you a good number of sheets in there. So here's your party sheet. Then you have some more stickers. Cool artwork. Then, of course, they offer you an official box organizer for Gloomhaven because there are so many punch outs. You're going to need an organizer, and then there you go. You can back that. You can buy that. The brokentoken.com. That's cool too. And the official audio narration for Gloomhaven, powered by Fortune Teller Games. That's very cool as well. So you can listen to it as you go along. Then you have your town records, which is a whole bunch of information in this book too, which I am not going to read through, but you have that as well. So this is your town records, and you have a record sheet, which you put down there. Player, character, class, level, perks. These are retired characters, and gives you all kinds of information about Gloomhaven itself, which is really cool. Then you get some more, even more stickers. Even more stickers. All right. I'm just pulling it out of the box as I see it. So then you get 2 of these, it appears. And these are trackers. There's your trackers, your number trackers. So it looks like this one goes from 0 to 26. And this side, I believe, would be the same. 0 to 26. Yep. So there you go, 0 to 26. You got it there. So you get 1, 2, 3 of these. You get one that looks like this. Oh, we got 4 of them. There you go. So again, they're all the same. 4. You may find some more in the box. So let's just put these to the side for now. You got 4 of those. You have some tokens. So let's take a look at those real quick. Now these are nice. These are really nicely done. These, I believe, were the different elements that you have, front and back. But you see that nice thick quality, really nice thick quality, very, very nice. Looks like an eclipse. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Very nice tokens. Very well done. I feel like they're wooden tokens, so they have a really nice feel to them. Nice weight to them. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. So that's, you got a cool baggie that goes with those. You have some decks of cards here, which are your mini cards. Let's take a look at these real quick. Steam liner, layabout. Again, there are so many cards in this game. There's no way I'm going to be able to read through everything. But all the backs are the same, or fronts, depending on the way you want to look at it. And then you flip them over. It says Streamliner, Layabout. It says Workhorse, Zealot, Masochist. It says Fast Healer, Neutralizer, Plunderer, Protector, Explorer, Hoarder, indigent, pacifist, sadist, hunter, professional, aggressor, dynamo, purist, opener, diehard, executioner, straggler, and scrambler. So I'm going to show you a couple of these cards at random so we can get a general gist of what they look like. Blammo. We've got one here. Pacifist. Kill 3 or fewer monsters during the scenario. Okay. So these looks like challenge cards. Boom. Plunderer. Loot a treasure overlay tile during the scenario. Yep. So these may be side quests. That's what I'm looking at. Die Hard. Never allow your current hit point value to drop below half your maximum hit point value. Round up during a scenario. One more. Sadist. Kill 5 or more monsters during the scenario. All right, so those are maybe side quests or things that you want to accomplish with your character. All right, some challenges. I like that. So that's the first deck of mini cards. Again, in this game here, there's heaps of everything. So 2 more decks of mini cards. We'll take the smaller pack first. Again, these look like things from the map. There's not that many of them. Let's take a look. It says 63, Magma Pit. 64, Underwater Lagoon. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. Looks like Windswept Highlands. It says there, it says Chained Isle. Yes, these are the different locations for the different that are in the scenario book. So you got that. You got those mini cards. All right. Not sure why they have mini cards for those. Not sure. But again, that'll be explained to you in the scenario book and the core rulebook. And of course, we also have these are going to be obviously items that you can find. So Boots of Levitation, Shoes of Happiness, Blinking Cape, Short Edge Armor, Circlet of Elements, Chain Hood, Frigid Blade, Storm Blade, Inferno Blade, Tremor Blade, Brilliant Blade, Night Blade, Wand of Frost, Wand of Storms, Wand of Infernos, Wand of Tremors, Wand of Brilliance, Wand of Darkness, Minor Cure Poison, Minor Cure Potion, Major Cure Potion, and Minor Cure Potion. Sorry about that. A Steel Ring, Dampening Ring, a Scroll of Power, Scroll of Healing, Scroll of Stamina. So let's take a look. Obviously, all the backs are the same, fronts, backs, depending on the way you look at it. So let's look at one of these, a couple of these as well. All the cards are set the same way. You've got your title, you've got your artwork, you've got the point value for it, or cost of it. One of 2 cards is during your melee attack to add +2 attack to a single attack. So it gives you, it's a Tremor Blade, gives you +2 to your attack. And these are weapons that will help you and aid you in killing the monsters. Minor Cure Potion. So it's worth 10 points there. During your turn, remove 1 negative condition on yourself. This can be used while you have stun. Okay, one more of these, what this says here. Inferno Blade, again 30. During your melee attack to add +2 attack to a single attack. So it looks like it's a one-handed weapon. And that's, you get the general just as to, again, your item cards, which are here, which are, looks like your weapons and potions, which is cool as well. That in there like so. And then we also have a bunch of these cards. So let's see what these are. Whoop, that one went flying. Let me grab that. Slipped right out of my hand. All right, it says Bandit Commander, Bandit Commander, Bandit Commander, Bandit Commander. Front and back. So it looks like you have, let's just read through it. Bandit Commander, Enoch's Bodyguard. Let's see what else we got here. Sticking together. Merciless Overseer, Elder Drake. So these look like these are going to be different villains that you're going to be, or monsters that you're going to be fighting against. The Betrayer, the Colorless, the Slightless Eye, the Dark Rider. You have the Winged Horror. Yeah. Jexura, Captain of the Guard, Prime Demon, the Gloom, Bandit Archer, Living Bones, Bandit Guard, Hound, Rending Drake, Spitting Drake, Living Corpse, Living Spirit, Enoch's Guard, Enoch's Archer, Enoch's Shaman, a Vermling Scout, a Cave Bear, Cultist, Lurker, Flame Demon, Earth Demon, Wind Demon, Sun Demon, Forest Imp, Black Imp, Stone Golem, Ooze, Ancient Artillery, Giant Viper, City Guard, City Archer. You got Vermling Shaman. You got the Savas Ice Storm, Savas Lava Flow, Horror Infestor, and Deep Terror. I'll see when you look around this. You remember, if we remember at the beginning when we went through the core rulebook, it was telling you that you had easy, medium, hard, this kind of stuff here. I'll see everything is rated right there on your fingertips for this stuff. Front and back. So let's see, the front and back the same. 16C, 13, 12, 10, 8. So 8, 10, 12, 13. The back here is, I'll see, 23, 19, 16, 15. So again, looks like all the rules are the same on the side of them. Again, you're gonna have to read the rule book as to how to understand all the icons and understand how to play the game. But again, you see how it has a 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's probably giving you level 0, level 1, 2, and 3. So it's probably telling you up to level 7. So depending on the level of your character, maybe that's what it's telling you. So you run into a level 6 bandit commander, you flip the card over, go to level 6, just using that at random. 19 times C, 5, 5, move to the next door and reveal room, summon living bones. So, and then you have your icons here. So again, it's going to be based on when you're reading the information in the scenario booklet. It's going to tell you what level of creature that you're going to be facing. So that's your creature cards right there, and that's pretty slick the way that's done. Again, it's front and back, ranging from level 1, level 0 up to level, appears to be level 7, which is, as it said in the game, your level that you can go into. So those are some of your creatures that you'll be fighting. Your stands to your standees. Always very, very important. You got some yellow, and you have some yellow ones, and you have some white ones. And if I have a character, there's one over there. Let's pop that guy out just so we can see what these things look like. Nice and easy, plop them in there. Blammo. They look just fine. They look great. So that's how that would look. So again, got 2 different colored stands for your standees, and we'll put him over there like that. We're going to pick this up just a little bit because we are, as they say, running out of a little bit of room, but I'm going to back this up just a little bit. Now we have this card deck. We have these card decks. We have, how about this, some more card decks. We got a really, really large card deck, and we got a couple more card decks. So we have 3, 4 large card decks, and you have 4 additional decks of mini cards. So we're going to take a look at these one at a time. So we'll start with the mini decks. There you go. So we can open that up real quick. It appears that there's 2 sides to these. You have one side which has the weapons on them. Okay, all those other weapon sides. And it appears that they're on the other side. You've got some numbers on them. So you got +0, +1, -1, +2, nothing, 2 times. So again, this could be very simply put. This could be, if your character is stunned or whatever it is, it might be taking points away. Again, this is all explained to you in the core rulebook. -1 here as well. So that's that deck of cards. So we went through the whole deck there. That is the deck that looks like this. So going to throw those over here because we have, put that down over there. We have, as you can tell, we have lots and lots of card decks. Then we have some more of those cards, it appears. Going along here. Again, we have more cards like that. All the fronts, backs, depending on the way you want to look at it, are the same. And we move to this side here. You have +0, +1, -1, +2. Again, more of the zeros. 2 times, +0 again, +1 again, -1 again, +2. More of the circles. 2 times, +0 again, +1, -1, +2. More of the circles. 2 times, +0 again, as you see. That's what we got here. No bonus, and then you have 2 times the bonus. So you get 2 decks of those cards. So put those cards on top of those cards. Then we're going to go to the, what I like to say, the big sets of cards, which are, looks like this. Right, all these cards appear to have the same backs, fronts, depending on the way you want to look at them. They're all the same. So let's take a look at some of these. Again, there's no way I'd have in this video that there would be a possibility of me actually reading each and every one of these cards. So we'll pick a couple at random. Again, there's a whole bunch of these. Now, it appears that they have numbering on them. 133, 132, 31. So again, let's jump all the way back here, see if we can find 55. So it looks like these go all the way back. So it looks like the top number is 133, and we go back here, it looks like we got the number 1. So let's flip the number 1 over. Again, more equipment boots of striding, the value of them, and then again, during your movement, add +2 movement to a single move. All right, so that helps you out there. All right, so these are all item cards. So you got, again, I'm not going to read through all these. You got boots, you got all kinds of shoes, then you have armor, different kinds of armor. Yeah, again, cloaks, eagle-eye goggles, iron helmets, shields, weapons, potions, again, back to boots, cloaks, potions, weapons, nets, more and more potions, boots, chainmail armor, weapons. Again, just trying to show you, go through these, because there's a tremendous amount. I see there's a bunch that are repeating. Falcon figurine, helmets, chains, potions again. King, it says Ring of Haste. At the end of your turn, play 1 card from your hand and immediately perform the bottom action of the card. Okay, let's keep going. Got your boots. Again, Pendant of Dark Packs. Sorry about that. Sun Earring. Again, you got that stuff. So you got, again, a considerable amount of things that you can find during your venture. Of course, you can go into Gloomhaven and purchase these items as well. The more gold that you get, the more that you can buy. I'll see. Then you have your potions again, your Ring of Brutality. At the end of your turn, play 1 card from your hand and immediately perform the top action of that card. Again, you got Supreme Sandals, cloaks, dynamite or explosives, wall shield, more potions, lucky eye. Again, not going to read through all these because, again, there is just a tremendous amount of cards to go through, but I'm just going to shuffle through it so you can kind of get that flavor as to what's available. Some of the cards I'll see are repeating in all the decks, so that's going to happen. Turn that upside down. Then we have some second skin, sacrificial robes, armor, different kinds of flea bitten shawl. Yep. So all kinds of stuff. And this flipped over again. Again, more and more and more items that you can find throughout the adventure. Some are more, oh, let's see what that looks like, a spider. Giant remote spider. Oh, you can control that 60. During your turn, perform a loot action. Very cool. Black sensor, it says. During your turn, muddle all enemies within range. All right, you got a black card, Helix Ring, Heart of Betrayer, Power Core, and Resonant Crystal. So again, all the cards are set up identically, where you have the title, you have the artwork, you have the cost of it, and then what it does. And of course, you have your couple icons. All the icons are explained in the core rulebook. So you have a bunch of these cards, again, going, I think it was from number 1, numbers are listed over here, to number 133. So there you go, got a bunch of those. Oh, and then we got some down here that we went through already as well. So it looks like, oh, 2 of 4, 3 of 4. It's also going to tell you how many of that set of those cards you have there. So it's card number 55. So it's multiple copies of that. Okay, good. And we have one more mini card deck. And let's see how that works out. Again, all the cards at the front or the back, depending on the way I look at it, are the same. So, except for the titles at the bottom, I'm assuming. Yep. So these look like they could be villains that you may be fighting. So it appears that way. It says Stone Golem. So let's see what we got here. Ah, looks like it starts again. These are numbered. So it says here, Cultist. Summon normal living bones. Cultist suffers 2 damage. You have Cultist. Lurker. So these might be power cards for each of the character of the that you're fighting. So these are, I'll see, these are for Lurker, Frost Demon, maybe the spells that they can hurl. If they got Frost Demon, Frost Flame Demon. Again, it tells you to move the attack. Flame Demon might be the room that they're associated with. I'm not quite sure. And you have to read in the rule book. It tells you all those things again. Flame Demon. Earth Demon. You got Earth Demon. You got Wind Demon. Sun Demon. Night Demon. Scout. Imps. So again, these are for all of your monsters that you're going to be fighting. Giant Viper. Ooze. Ancient Artillery. Savas Ice Storm. And the Lava Flow. Horror Infestor. Deep Terror. Stone Golem. Oh, that's Stone Golem. So again, these are cards that are associated with your monster. So these are your monster cards. So that's part of that deck there as well. So as you can tell, there are a tremendous amount of cards that you have here. Again, I'll tell you how to use these cards. I'll see in the core rulebook that's located up there. Then we have more of these again. The cards are all set up the same way. It's got a number over here. It's got the title here, and then it tells you what actions that they can do. It would be move, heal, attack. Again, so you got here, you have Living Bones. So we're going to do this. Living Bones. Guards. Archers. Hounds. Rending Drake. Spitting Drake. Living Corpse. Boss. Living Spirits. Shamans. Cave Bears. And Cultists. There you got it. So there's some more cards. Then we have another deck of cards here. Let's see what these are. Different adventures you're going to be going on the road. So these are extra adventures that you can go on. Remember, they said they're side quests. So the road gives you a whole bunch of side quests, where again, these are all road cards. Definitely not going to read through all those. Again, so you'll read the front. I'll give you basic information, so I'll do that with you. Heading out a little late, aren't you? The guard at the wall looks at you passively. You grunt in response and head through the open gate. Nobody's going to go looking for your corpse if you don't return, the guard shouts at your back. You end up embarking out on the road much later than you had hoped. Events in town saw to that, but as dust settles on the horizon, you feel confident that you are up to any threat you might face. And then begins the howling of wolves, vicious foul beasts, and judging from their sounds, they seem to be getting closer. Option A, run from the howling to safety. B, let the wolves come. Flip that over. It tells you you pick up and run as fast as you can through the underbelly, but all start scenario with poison. And the bottom one here, confident that your wolves pose no significant threat, you stand your ground and prepare for battle. The pack comes, ragged and hungry, slowly emerging from the dark, and surround your party. There are more of them than you expected, but not enough to take you down. You suffer a bite or two, but are able to fight them off. Start scenario with 3 damage. So again, all the cards are laid out the same way. You got your title, background story, tells you whether you're going to take option A or option B, and then tells you when you take the options, what happens to you. So there you are. Those are your road cards. Then you also have this deck, which is obviously the same concept, which is road. Now, when you decide to venture into Gloomhaven itself, you're going to be going into any city that you might run into. You got city quests as well. So we'll just read one of these, give you a general gist. Again, title at the top, the information. You're going to pick an option A or B, and then it's going to tell you the results on A or B. So city, again, it says, you decide to unwind at the Sleeping Lion, but just as you are starting to relax, a bear of a man crashes into your table, scattering your drinks across the floor. Towering over him is a massive inox. What did you say about my horns? The inox shouts. The man stands up and brushes shards of glass from his tunic. I said, the sight of them makes me want to vomit. The inox roars and charges headlong into the man, crashing through more tables in the process. At this, the entire tavern erupts into violence. After all, when a man is deep into his drink, the last thing you want to do is knock that drink over. So you got a bar fight. Join the fray. These insults will not go unanswered, or do you do your best to stop the fighting? This is a respectable establishment. Flip it over, you make your choices. Again, if you do A, you gain 10 experience. Each either lose 5 gold or you lose 1 reputation. Down here, you gain 1 reputation for saying, hey guys, let's knock that off. So there you go. So again, that's how your city cards would work as extra side quests. And you also have another deck of cards. We're over the hour mark already, and yes, guys, we still have plenty of stuff to go through. Let's see what we got here. We got here. Alright, so what's it look like here? We got player reference cards. We got 4 of those. So it's a 4-player game. You got 4 of these, and you got the 4 dials. They all match up. Again, gives you those player reference cards. Very cool. Put those over there with those. Then we have some black cards here that have the letter A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A. So we got all those. Burrow. Minor stun, major muddle, poison, all that stuff like that. So again, I'm not quite sure what these are, but honestly, it looks like these are room setups for the different scenarios. So clearing, so you got here, it tells you burrow, hovel, you've got your alcove, you have a tunnel, you have a cave, a corridor, a trail, a den, library, encampment, armory, altar, clearing, cabin, road, hallway, dead end, passage, and crossroad. So we just by going flip it, we've seen all the terrain tiles over here in a stack that we had there. So it's telling you what villains and everything else is set up. It's probably telling you the cards there as well. So there you go. That's what those cards are for. That's a black deck. those over here. And then we have this brown deck which has the skulls on it. Flip those over. It looks like weather. So you got frigid, you got putrid, you got infected, corrupted, unstable, you have venomous, sealed, archaic, horrific, tribal, crushing, foggy, rotting, cutthroat, fortified, wild, defiled, hopeless, drowned, and mangy. So you have these. I'll see there it says numbers 1 through 12. So maybe it's just a weather chart for the day or something of that nature. I'm not sure what these are used for. But again, they're numbered. There's little icons next to them. Again, all that's explained to you in the core rulebook. But that's another deck of cards that you have, which has this on it. And then we have another deck of cards that look like this. Okay, so it looks like journaling. Different pages from a journal, yes. So again, I'm not going to read these. I'll read one of them so you get the general gist of it, because I do not want to ruin anything with the game. So I don't want to read one that also, nope, you just gave a spoiler. Nope, I don't want to do that. So it says, Seekers of Zorn. Even as a child, you could feel the call of Zorn. Once worshipped as a god, his flock has long since been destroyed and disbanded, but you can hear him calling. You will travel to Gloomhaven as he commands. You'll find his remains and set him free. The plague will once again be embraced. Complete 3 crypt scenarios, then unlock Noxious Cellar, scenario 52, and follow it to a conclusion. Open box, this one here, number 510. Now, speaking of boxes, so we understand what these cards, they're all the same. Again, I don't want to ruin any of them, but I can read the titles. Merchant Class, Greed is Good, Finding the Cure, A Study of Anatomy, Lawbringer, Pound of Flesh, Trophy Hunt, Internal Wanderer, Battle Legend, Implement of the Light, Take Back the Trees, The Thin Places, Aberrant Slayer, Fearless Stand, Piety in All Things, Vengeance, Zealot of the Blood God, Goliath Toppler, The Fall of Man, Augmented Abilities, Elemental Samples, A Helping Hand, and The Perfect Poison. Again, all the information on the below. It tells you what you need to do to complete this quest right here. So that's all those right there. So that's your last card deck that has this stuff in it. Now down here it says open box. Well, yes, you have cards, you have tokens, you have punch outs, you have terrain, you have a game board, you got rule books, you got scenario books, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 boxes of goodness. Now, again, I am not going to go through all of these. I will open one at random. I'm going to open up this one at random just so you can see what the contents look like on the inside. Again, I do not want to ruin the overall effectiveness. Now, one thing you're going to notice, I'm just going to show you this. So this one's kind of thick, so maybe I'm not going to start with this one. It's got a saw on it. So it looks like a saw blade of some sort. You got that. Then you have one that has that marking on it. One that has that marking on it. One that has this marking on it. One has that marking. One that has this marking. And that marking. And that marking. And this marking. A brain. This one. That one. That one. Now, the card we just looked at, was it this one? No. So it told us at the bottom, it said, whoop, let's open that box. So since we just read that, we can open the box just to see what's inside it. All right, this one has, you pop it open, and it has all kinds of stuff inside it. Now, I'm not going to open up everything in it, but every container has similar items in it. So again, you open the box. You have some more, because it all goes according to that. So you got the mini boxes. You have some punch outs. So you got some mini cards. You got the punch outs. These cards have the numbers on them like we saw before. You can have your adventure deck, which is right here. Plague Herald. Again, I'm not going to open this up to show it to you because I do not want to ruin any of the surprises in the thing. Then, of course, it's going to tell you what your villain card looks like. And there it is, the Horror Plague Herald. There. And then, of course, it's going to have a tracker sheet. So when you're fighting them, it tells you what you're going to be doing and how you're going to stop that. So again, that's what's in each of the box. Again, it doesn't have identical stuff in it, but this is the type of stuff that's in it because, again, each one of these are quests that you're going on. And again, I don't want to open them all and kind of ruin things for you. That I do not want to do. So I'm not going to, definitely not going to open up all these here. So I definitely do not want to ruin the surprise, even though this game is obviously older. I do not want to ruin it for anyone. Then you had that marking on it. You have this marking on it. You have this marking on it. And each one is sealed. So the reason that they're sealed is obviously when you're told to go to the adventure, you go to that adventure. So they, uh-oh, someone lost one of those. I got to figure out who that came from, but it popped off one of those. But there you go. On top of everything else, you get all these boxes again. You get 17 different boxes. One more I'll show you real quick since I happen to have it right here and it's open. But there again. Again, it's the different adventures you're going to be going on. Again, they're going to have their deck of cards, which goes with it. So that says Sawbones, the dock. Then you have your mini cards. You're going to have your icon, which has the little saw on it. The character Sawbones, which is going to give you all the information you're going to need about that character. And the back gives you a little fluff on it. All the cards are set up the same way. If you look at it, it says start a round, play 2 cards, long rest, initiative, on turn, monster actions, and end of round, conditions, and it tells you it's a health tracker on the bottom down here. And then it gives you information card about that character as well. So each time you fight them, you got a different sheet. You can mark off wins, losses, all that stuff like that. So there you have it. Those are different adventures. That one was missing one, so I'm going to put that one right on top of that. So again, you get 17 of those boxes like that. Again, I'm going to back this up just a little bit, pull that up just a little bit. So again, there's a tremendous amount of stuff that's in this box. And last but not least, you have quite a number of figures. So let's take a look at some of these figures that we have here. Not exactly sure what that is, but it looks like some sort of skeleton or some kind of bad guy. That's one. Another one. Again, they're nicely detailed. Very cool. Another figure. Again, detail, very, very nice. They're 28mm figures, so it makes it even better. Again, if you don't make it through the whole campaign, at least you get a bunch of figures you can make, use them for a D&D campaign or for Pathfinder or for whatever else you might want to use them for. Well, that's really cool. I like that one a lot. It's very, very cool. this creature here. Not sure what that is. Looks like a bear with armor on it. Very interesting. Some of the guys got bent a little bit, being in a box with everything else. But that's okay, it happens. There's so much stuff on the table, I gotta find places to put everybody. Get another one of the characters there. This guy looks pretty badass. Yeah, I'm liking him. Very cool. That looks like a hero there. Very cool. A little bard. Looks like a commander yelling out orders. Very cool. Back there. I like him too. He's very well done. I like that. Very cool. Pulling a sword out to get ready to fight. It's cool. You got this guy here. Got this guy right here. I think that's the Sawbones. So I'm going to think when I'm looking at these figures here, let's see how many we got here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It could be the special characters for each one of the guys in the box there. That's what I'm going to assume all these guys are, different characters that go into those boxes there. That's their representation. Everybody else, it's in they're all the other random monsters you're going to find. You're going to find them here as pawns. The ones that are inside the boxes are these special characters, and that's what these are all for. That's what I'm assuming right off the bat for that. Inside the bottom of the box, you also got yourself a really nice tray. But again, once you start punching everything out, everything else, you're going to run out of room very, very quickly. So again, I had showed you one of those things that came with the box. So again, for all your tokens and everything you have here, what you see is a tremendous amount of stuff. You're going to need something to put it in. The recommendation would be you get this box organizer for Gloomhaven. And as you can tell, you got your token holders and all your stuff that's right here that comes with it. When I played, the last time I played Gloomhaven something of the line, I think Pride of the Line or something of that nature, whatever the Gloomhaven short story was, I did. It already came with, again, I bought it in the aftermarket. It already had these token holders in them, and they were very high quality and very, very good. So I still have them, matter of fact. Jaws of the Line, it was called. Gloomhaven Jaws of the Line, I believe it's called. Yeah. Anyway, so you've got the rule book, you got the scenario book, you got a whole bunch of stickers, you've got a map of your worldly accomplishments, you've got your trackers here for your characters, you have your character sheets, you have your scenario book, you have 18 sheets of punch outs, you have a tremendous amount of cards. All of your different adventures, extra adventures are in your cards here. Your city and your road adventures that you can take on, your side quests that you can take on, and of course you have all your hardened, I'm going to say, your 18 or 17 boxes that we had there of different advanced characters, and you're going to have your people that you're going to fight, and then you have the figures that go along with those. So this is everything that's included. And this concludes our hour-and-a-half video of the unboxing of the board game Gloomhaven. Thank you yet again for joining me for this unboxing video. It is truly appreciated. As always, if you enjoyed the video, you can always give us a thumbs up. You can leave a comment below. You can also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to anytime we release new content to the page. Just a reminder, Gloomhaven is for 1 to 4 players. It takes about 30 minutes to complete per player. So if you got 4 players, it's going to take 2 hours to play. And it's for ages 14 plus. And as you can tell down here, it has won a tremendous amount of awards for being a great, 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 great game. And again, this was another bargain store purchase that I had gotten. As always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. Be safe, be well, enjoy the remainder of your day, and we will catch you on the next unboxing video. Thank you so much for staying with me throughout this entire video. I know it was a long one, and I apologize for that, but there's so much goodness that came inside this box. Have a great, great day, guys, and happy gaming to all of you. Be safe and well.